How did you find your Great British Diversity Experiment that you did a few years ago? I know you're co-founder of that. How was that for you?
Yeah, I was just that back. That's kind of harking back into the memories now. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
such an interesting time, and I think, like, having been at Liberty, like, diversity and building inclusive workplaces has always been like such a priority for us, and it not because it makes business. It was like creativity is born out. I mean, we all know this. Like, creativity is born out of diverse perspectives coming together and contributing to make something. If we all have the same point of view, that's not creativity. But I think it's amazing that our industry, well, not actually amazing is completely the wrong word. It's just about time that the industry has finally, and there's such a long way to go, but there is a slight sense of relief that at least it is on people's radars, because I think when we looked at, I think, I'm trying to think now how many years ago the Great British Diversity Experiment was, maybe 5
years ago, 2015.
Yeah, and it kind of came together because there weren't a lot of people talking about it. Like, there were a few of us who were the kind of founders, and we were sitting around thinking about, doing something. What are the kind of topics that we're really passionate about, and that kind of came out naturally from the human beings that we are. But it was interesting because it was just that time the McKinsey study came out, and it was like, companies with women on their board are X% more effective. Companies with people of colour on their boards are X% more effective. And we were like, but what? Yeah, it wasn't translating through. It's like, that's cool, that's fine. But in the creative world, it just felt like that was just not on people's radar. And you're still having businesses run by, middle-class, middle-aged white men. And there's nothing wrong with middle-aged, middle-class white men, but just when the whole company is run by that. So the diversity experiment was, at the time, set the ambition to prove that more diverse teams drive better creative work. Because actually it's like, well, what will that white middle-class, middle-aged, white ECD stack up, like, listen to, and actually how do we do something that is convincing for that? And not that we should have to do that, but there was a time where the industry needed more convincing than it should have done to be more inclusive with the practices around work. And so, yeah, that was how it was born. It was amazing. We had 160 participants pulled together to answer a really interesting brief. We had amazing mentors, and yeah, the whole purpose of it was not just to look at a winning creative idea, but to document the journey, and to document that, and actually to say and be able to give something to businesses, creative businesses, brands, to say, look, this is the positive impact that have on, if you bring properly diverse teams together, that, from my perspective, the whole point is that you're not representing. The number of times that I have been in a room and with loads of men, and again, not for quite a while now, not when I've been at Liberty, and look around and go, well, what do women think about this? I was like, I don't know. I know what I think. I'm not representing that. And then the same is true when it comes to, if you have one person from the Black community in your building, they don't represent the whole of that community. And actually, what we're not valuing is people for their own perspective. And actually, when tokenism comes off the table, you bring true diversity, people can be their own authentic selves, and that's when the brilliance and the magic happens. And that's when people can actually be themselves, and give their perspective, and that's informed perspective based on all of our lived experiences. But that's when change happens.